Hey, what's going on, you guys? I have a little bit of a different video today. Today's video is going to be a story time. So today I'm going to tell you the story about how I got my dream job and it ended up being not at all what I had expected. So basically right now I'm here in Pittsburgh, PA still, which is where I live, and I'm supposed to be in Dallas, Texas right now. I had plans to go start what I thought was going to be a really incredible opportunity. So I've been freelancing for about a year on a website that just hooks you up with remote work. So basically, like, a client will email you and you do everything on your own computer, your own home, or wherever your office is, and then you submit it to them remotely. So just via online through their site. And the site that I use, it offers this really great feature, which is like an escrow payment. Basically, the client puts money into your account and then they release it whenever you deliver the finished work. So I saw a job on there, and I sent an email, and it was for drawing in-store grocery displays. So that's something that I have like 7 years of experience doing, you know what I mean? So I was like, this is the best job for me. Like, this fits my niche of illustration graphic design perfectly. So I messaged them back and I'm like, hey, I just want to firstly mention that I'm so excited to apply for this project because this is like what I do, and so they sent me back an email saying like, hey, we totally want to work with you. We're so excited that you have this such and such expertise. Please, let's get on a conference call. Let's discuss the details. Let's get this ball rolling. And so I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm so excited. And they're like, so then they let me know that it's, that I have to fly to Dallas and then Chicago. And so I'm thinking, I don't really want to travel. I was thinking because I do all of this work, remotely. That's kind of why I work freelance, so I don't have to travel, so I don't have to do stuff like that. But I was thinking, if the price is right, I'll totally do it, because this could end up being a really great opportunity, and you just can't pass up opportunities like this because they just don't come along every day. So I talked to them on the conference call, and everything seemed magical. This seemed like the most magical job I could ever imagine. I'd be traveling around. So this first week, I'd just be traveling around, sketching, sketching simple sketches for the project that they were gonna be doing. So I don't want to give too many details away. But so I was like, hey, listen, I'm totally down to travel. All I need is the per diem and some estimated cab fare up front. And so they were like, absolutely, we'll make sure you have the cash. We want you to feel comfortable. We know you don't know us, and it's a big change, but we really, really want to have you. We want you. We really want to have you. So whatever you need to feel comfortable, please let us know. Please just send us any invoices that you have, and we'll be happy to take care of them immediately. So I was like, sold, and plus the money was great too. The money for what they were going to pay me hourly, and they were also going to pay me for my travel time. It was amazing. I was very sold on this whole thing. So immediately they booked me a hotel room, these 2 really nice hotel rooms, so one in Dallas, one in Chicago, and I was sold. I was like, this is awesome. They were like, pick out the flights that you want, send them to us, we'll book them. So I picked them out, I sent them over, They paid for them immediately. So, and none of this was cheap. So I put together the invoices for my estimated time that I'd be working and traveling, and also what I, and also the, you know, hey guys. So, together the invoices for everything, and I sent them over. And so the guy I was working with said, hey, no problem, everything looks great. I'm just gonna forward them to our accountant. He's gonna take care of it immediately. And so that was like last Monday, and a week from the trip date. And so I'm just like patiently waiting on Monday, and I'm like, okay, like that's awesome. So Tuesday rolls around. I say, hey, like, what do you need from me? Like, I'm not like pushing them at this point, but you know, I did want to take care of everything. So I went up to my bank. I got my bank account information because I just wanted to make sure, because it was an international transfer of money, I wanted to make sure there were no hiccups with the transfer. So she put together everything I needed. I sent it off to them, and so I email it, and the guy's like, hey, I'm sending this to our accountant. It should all be taken care of as soon as possible. So I'm like, okay, cool. So Wednesday comes, no word. So I'm starting to get like kind of annoyed, you know, like, okay. And so we're still like talking about the project and everything like that. And I'm just like, you know, talking to them, and I don't know. So Thursday rolls around, I call them and I say, hey, listen, like, I want to make sure everything is in transaction by the end of the day today, because, you know, it could take a few days to transfer to my bank account. So he's like, absolutely, absolutely. I let the guy know. He's taking care of it. Everything's taken care of. Don't you worry. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to worry. And then the next day, Friday, I'm like, where is the money? You know, like, what is the deal? So the lady who I was meeting in Dallas, she's like, hey, let's meet up for dinner on Friday night, and let's go, and we can go over all of the details of the project. And I say to her, like, listen, absolutely, I absolutely want to meet for dinner, but I need the money that we discussed to get to the airport, to get from the airport to the hotel, and the per diem funds that we discussed. You know what I mean? Like, they were the ones who offered the per diem money. So I was just like frustrated. I was like, give me a call when you get a chance. Like, let's chat about this. So she calls me immediately and she's like, hey, can you just make it here and I'll give you the money when you get here? And I was like, I mean, I guess so. If you could get the money to me as agreed, like beforehand, that would be better. And she's like, okay, well, I'll see what I can do, but just get here and I'll give you the money. And I'm like, all right. Meanwhile, I'm not charging them for any of these calls, any of this consultation work. I didn't charge them for any of that because I thought at the end of the rainbow there was going to be this like big magic pot of gold, and there just ended up not being. So she ends up sending me an email later that night at about 11:30 on Friday night saying, oh, so my boss, or the accountant who ended up being the president of the company, sent you some money, so just use that. It was $300 Canadian, which is 233 US dollars, which is about 130 bucks short of what we agreed upon. But at this point, I had been asking and waiting all week. I was gonna just take the money that they gave me, and then, you know, we could work it out when I got there. I wasn't gonna like flip out about something like that. Also, on our phone call, she was like, oh, well, you really don't even need the per diem money because we're gonna have food brought in, so you're probably not even gonna need anything. And I was thinking, like, I mean, that's fine, I guess, but we agreed upon something, and now you're changing the contract. So I was thinking, like, all right, fine, all the meals are gonna be brought in. I'll have this, you know, $233 once I get it. I wasn't gonna like freak out or cause a scene. So I would collect the money. And the money that they sent, they used some Canadian website. So I went to enter it into my bank account, and I didn't see my bank anywhere. And I'm thinking, well, that's really odd. And it's like select province or territory, and I'm like, oh, weird. So it was only Canadian banks, and you could only select places in Canada. And I was thinking like, oh, that's weird. I call the customer service. I'm on the phone with them for like an hour, and I'm like, hey, listen, someone sent me Canadian money. I need to transfer it to my bank account in US dollars. And I was like, so anyway, the person on the phone said to me, there's no way you can have money. This is only for Canadian residents. This is only for Canadian banks, and this is only in Canadian money. We don't do transfers. We don't do anything like that. And I was thinking, like, why would they send it to me? We're all going to be working in the US. We're all going to be, you know what I mean? They paid for everything else in US dollars. And I was thinking, like, that's so weird. The email she sent to me was like, hey, like, our accountant's on the road. This is the only account he has access to. Hopefully you can make it work. And I was thinking, like, your accountant is on the road, this like multi-million-dollar company, and all he has access to is 300 Canadian dollars to send me on this like weird website that I never heard of. And I was like, that is weird. So I sent her an email back, and I'm like, hey, listen, I can't access the money. Am I doing something wrong? Even though the person on the customer service told me there's no way you're getting this money in the US. So she writes me back in the morning, oh, we forgot to tell you the password. The password is da-da-da, like she told me the password. And I was like, okay, I still can't access it. And I'm thinking, like, why wouldn't you tell me the password last night? It's like, why are you keeping this money just out of my reach? Like, so then I started getting kind of worried. Like, I started getting a little anxious. I was thinking, like, I don't know these people. Like, one, I don't know these people. Two, there's not a trace of them online. They have their own website, and that's it. And they're on LinkedIn, and that's it. So I started getting really worried. Everyone in my family was really worried. They didn't want me to go. So I spent all day so Saturday rolls around. I'm supposed to leave Sunday morning at 11:15. So Saturday, I'm thinking there's something kind of weird going on here. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they'd have to gain, but something weird is going on. So I get kind of angry. No, so I send another email and I say, hey, listen, I've reached out to you every single day this week. Every single day since last Monday. And I'm getting confused. At this point, it doesn't seem like the $360 is going to happen. I appreciate that you sent me 300 Canadian dollars, but I can't use it. And it's Canadian dollars. It's a different amount than we agreed on. So they start calling my phone and they're like, are you still coming? Are you still coming? And I'm like, I need the money. Like, I don't want to beg for it. I don't know you guys. You're not holding up your end of the bargain. Like, I just need the money, And so they're like, well, what can we do to make you comfortable? And I'm like, I just told you. I need the money or I can't go. I need to call a cab to get to the airport. I need to call a cab from the airport to get to the hotel where I'm going to meet you. You know what I mean? So basically, so I talked to the lady and she kind of assures me she's got cash in her purse already for me, but she's going to do everything she can to get the transfer to me that night. And I'm thinking, like, if you can get me the money, like, that's fine. My family agreed to fly me home, like, to help me out. Like, if I got trapped in Dallas, my family was going to be there to fly me home. So I was like, nothing too shady could happen, supposedly. So then later that night, I get an email from the accountant who says, sorry, the transfer didn't work when I sent it to you in Canadian. I'm going to send it to you early tomorrow morning. And I'm thinking, like, okay, like, if you can get it to me early on Sunday morning, I get an email from the lady and she's telling me about how she says that the accountant made a Western Union transfer in my name, and she sends me a screenshot of this supposed Western Union transfer. She says, listen, I know you're not going to have time to access this, but it's there if you need it. So I'm thinking, okay, they sent it to me, awesome. So I go and I go to Western Union, and you got to call. They have like a phone there that you use, and so I call the Western Union customer service, and I'm like, hey, I'm here, I need my money. The lady on the phone says to me, oh, sorry, this particular transaction has a hold on it. You have to contact the sender and make sure you're still allowed to access it. And I'm thinking, you've got to be kidding me. It's almost like they sent me like fake transactions. Like they might as well have sent me Monopoly money, because I never was able to like get it. So then my flight, so I like spent all this time like messing around with Western Union, and like the ride I was gonna have fell through. I ended up having to like go and wake my mom up, and I'm like, hey, I gotta get to the airport. It's like 10 o'clock already. Flight leaves at 11:15. So my mom isn't even awake. And so I'm like waking her up. So I had to go, and I woke my mom up. She wasn't even ready. She didn't want me to go. So I had to say, listen, like I'm in a rush. Like, can you help me out? I need to get to the airport. So she wakes up, and she goes to get ready, and then we get in a car. We drive out to the airport, which is like a good 25-minute drive from my house. And I ended up being like too late. I ended up missing my flight anyway. So, which everybody in my family was like, that's probably for the best, you know? Because of the shady money transactions. I just still don't understand why. Oh, and I called the lady. I forgot to say this. I called the lady whenever I was at Rite Aid, and I said, like, hey, listen, there's a hold on the money. Like, what's going on here? Like, I'm starting to get very confused. Like, you're sending me all of these transactions that are just short of me being able to get them. So she says,